In Year 6, you're going to be using ICT to create accurate graphical models that solve problems. This will build on work you've done in Year 5. Liverpool City Council want you to redevelop a piece of wasteland near the river. They want to include housing for at least 20 people, a new school, doctor's surgery, shops and cafe. You'll also need to include a new ferry terminal. The site will measure 150 metres by 150 metres. You need to start by opening up SketchUp. You'll then need to zoom out and recenter. Now remember, always start in the axis corner. This will mean that all of your shapes are correctly placed on the map. Then use your rectangle tool to draw. Now remembering the success criteria is accurate, are you going to guess or will you use the ruler tool? Now I now know that that is 150 metres. And using the rectangle tool, which automatically becomes a square tool at certain distances, I need to zoom out a bit more. Remember, you can always edit undo. You now have your site. Now a square, if you keep your eye, a square is represented when the diagonal line goes across. Like so. There is your 150 metres squared. Now, in this site you need to place housing and schools. You can orbit your site to see around. Now remember, apart from being accurate, you need to make sure the buildings and anything you design are big enough for the people to enter. I may now start with the housing. Now, when you're building this, constantly check that everything is on the correct plane. For instance, here, you'll notice that the building is actually floating. So this is not correct. I will need to edit and undo. And then to do it again correctly, make sure that you're placing it in the corner where it says endpoint and then go along. And it will say on edge that you are on edge. I can now push pull up. I would start off by planning out your site accurately first. So that's my housing. I will have my ferry port here, school, and maybe a parade of shops. By doing this, I can now check everything's to scale. I can measure and work out, will this be big enough? 23 metres. 36 metres, 74 metres. So you'll have to think, are these buildings big enough? The house is 15 metres high. Is that big enough? You'll need to decide. Once you've planned out the basic, you can then use pull, pull, push, pull to continue building your site. Remembering at all times that your success criteria is to create accurate models and accurate buildings. So don't just guess, keep on measuring and keep on working it out. Remembering once you've finished, you can use the paint bucket to add in different textures and styles, for instance glass or brick. Try and be creative, but remember you must do it to scale and be accurate.